Hello everyone, this is the real Black Otaku, and welcome to my Q&A video. I'm not going to drag this intro out any longer than I have to, so let's jump right into it. Favorite video games? Now, my first answer would have to be Halo 2. However, I will give quick mentions to Super Smash Bros. Brawl and Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Am I wrong for killing Haruhi Suzumiya? Ooh, now this one's a good one. Now, for those who don't know, I was part of a podcast called the Otaku Squad, one of the podcasts being focused on waifus. So, I decided to get me and the other two guys, Connor and Marvin, to decide who are top three potential waifus. Once it was all decided, I revealed my true intentions, forcing them to choose who are they going to marry, who they're going to fuck, and who they're going to kill. Oh, it was glorious. You can go to that podcast by clicking right here or in the link in the description. So this kind of started trending a little bit, showing up on another podcast, as well as showing up a couple of times in some of the social circles that I'm in. And the characters that TG went with were Haruhi Suzumiya, Sailor Jupiter, and I actually don't remember who his third pick was. It might be Risaki from Welcome to the NHK or Kurusu from Steins Gate. I honestly don't remember. But in the end, he chose to kill Haruhi. Yeah. Which is something that I don't really agree with. But hey, it's your choice. Do whatever the fuck you want. I ain't stopping you. Have you heard of the anime called Boku Dake ga Inai Machi, or Erased? If so, what are your thoughts? I have not seen it, but from what I've been able to tell from like stuff I've seen on Hummingbird and Twitter and just other stuff that's flowing around, it's one of the bigger series of the season, and one that I might actually get into, but I honestly don't know. I really haven't been watching much lately anyway, so there's that. Any anime you think doesn't deserve the hype it gets? Now, you might expect me to say something that aired rather recently, but I'll actually answer this with Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I mean, it's not a bad series. In fact, I really enjoy it, and actually prefer it over the original 2003 adaptation. However, is how people treat Brotherhood completely overshadows the 2003 adaptation, which, despite what they say, it actually does deserve its own merit. Most hated anime sequel, second or third season, that you think ruins a series you're a fan of. Now, I'm going to answer this with two titles, one of which is a fairly popular choice, while the other is a little more obscure. Now, first I'll talk about is the Strike Witches movie. I would never really consider myself to be a real big fan of Strike Witches. In fact, I considered seasons 1 and 2 to be pretty much just guilty pleasure material for fairly obvious reasons. However, the movie, which was a sequel to the second season, was just terrible. From what I remember, it was horribly paced and boring as hell as a result. On top of that, it took a huge shit on an event from the season 2 finale. I'm just hoping that the upcoming third season somehow redeems this train wreck of a movie, assuming they actually put it out anytime soon. Yeah. Now the other one is one that's extremely popular to hate on, for very good reason. And that would be Black Butler 2. Now, similar to Strike Witches, I never really considered myself to be a fan of Black Butler, but I will admit that I really enjoyed it for what it had going for it. Mostly Sebastian. But the second season was just unforgivably terrible. The first complaint about Black Butler 2 is that it was an unnecessary sequel. Because Black Butler, despite diverting from the manga, that actually had a very satisfying ending, which is a lot more than we're going to say for other anime original endings. It had several plot points which made no sense or go absolutely nowhere. I really did not like any of the new characters that were introduced in the second season, especially a certain bastard child who shall remain unnamed. And don't get me started on that ending. It is without a doubt, one of my least favorite anime endings that I have seen. So, now a possible point of redemption for this would be the more recent Black Butler Book of Circus, but as of this point I have not seen it, and quite honestly might get to it, I might not, I don't know, so there's that. Number 1 anime you want to kill so badly. Now I'm assuming you're asking about my most hated anime. That I will not reveal until I hit 100 subscribers. However, I will give quick mention to some of my other most hated anime. Most notably, Girls Bravo, and the aforementioned Black Butler 2 in the Strike Witches movie. What are the best animes you've seen so far? Now, I will give 4 titles to answer this question with. First 2 titles I'll mention are a couple of fairly obvious and popular favorites, going to Steins Gate and Gurren Lagann. However, I'll also include 2 titles which I don't recall being mentioned very often, and as some of the best anime one has seen. These going to Little Busters and Higurashi. What anime sequels are you excited for and why? Now, I really haven't been watching much anime lately, let alone stuff that's been coming out seasonally, so I'm actually having a fairly hard time coming up with an answer for this. However, one sequel that most everyone's excited for is the upcoming second season to Attack on Titan. Now, one sequel that I'm wanting to see happen, and I'm pretty sure, given the popularity of the franchise, eventually will happen, hopefully, will be a continuation of Fairy Tail. Since Fairy Tail's second series actually had finished airing not even a week ago, I am wanting more, especially with how much I enjoyed its final arc. And now there are some sequels which I'm hoping happens, but from the look of things, probably won't. Now these are sequels to anime, which include, but are not limited to, Monica Magical Rebellion, Spice and Wolf 2, Second Grade Pure Engagement, and High School of the Dead. Are there any new mangas that we should take a look at or read? Any to avoid? Now, I really can't answer this question because I am not a manga reader. Well, admittedly, I've read the entirety of the Elfen manga, as well as owning hard copies for the first volumes of both Fairy Tail and Angel Beats Heaven's Door. I don't read manga, so I really can't give you a good answer to that one. What do you think of One Punch Man and its comedy of the superhero genre? I fucking loved One Punch Man. And part of it would have to do with the straight comedy, which I found to be absolutely hilarious. But I also really enjoyed the satirical aspects of it, like how it became just a parody of what we see with Western and superhero movies, as well as some tropes that we see in typical shonen anime. Spring anime and summer anime that we should keep in mind. Now, I really haven't been watching anything seasonally for quite some time, so I really probably won't be watching much seasonally in this upcoming seasons. Now, but one anime that I'm rather looking forward to in these upcoming seasons would have to be an anime adaptation for Rewrite, which original visual novel, which I have not read yet, despite having installed translation patch added for over a year now. I just procrastination. What can you do? I've got one major concern about the potential quality for Rewrite. Not as an adaptation to the original visual novel, because again, I haven't read it, but given the popular reception to the more recent key anime Charlotte, as well as just my personal opinion on it, I'm a little concerned, to say the least. Overall, update me about how you are. Overall, I'm doing pretty good for myself. Now, the big thing is I'm not in any pain, and I'm actually gaining quite a bit of my weight back, even though I'm still 20 pounds below what I used to. Unfortunately, I'm not totally cancer-free yet. I'm going deaf, and I've still got to deal with a feeding tube in my stomach for the next couple of weeks. Otherwise, I'm doing really, really good. It's probably the best I've felt in a long time. P.S. Excited for any video games? What games? At the moment, I'm emotionally invested into Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, and I'm happy for its story and character development. Good job, Nessa. You've got good tastes. You know, while I'm not really looking forward to any upcoming games per se, I am totally invested in Halo 5 Guardians, which, in my opinion, has one of the best multiplayers of the franchise. And given the most players seen in Halos 3 and Reach, it's actually quite the achievement. How was the experience with everything that happened? Overall, it was tough, but I think I was able to handle the entire experience of it rather well. Just my approach of just taking things as they come and just taking things one step at a time, and I think that just really helped with the situation, even if throat sores and radiation burns got to the point where I couldn't eat anything orally, which is the reason why I got a feeding tube put in anyway. So yeah, but otherwise I handled it well and actually recovered perfectly fine, even if my hairline's taken a lot longer than expected to come back. Overall, it was hell. From the cancer itself to the treatment for it, it was hell. But I did not let that get to me. I just took things as they came, and thus was able to handle it all very well. In fact, my radiation oncologist was actually impressed with how well I was handling it compared to some of her other nasopharyngeal cases. So, there's that. Any anime you feel sad for missing out on the hype? Now, since summer of 2015, and I really haven't been watching much of anything. Outside of Fairy Tail, which I'd been following damn near religiously since it started airing, as well as One Punch Man because... So overall, nothing I really feel sad about missing out on. Even though there are a couple of titles from this most recent season which I might actually get into. Most notably, Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash. What is your most controversial opinion concerning media? You know the anime school days? Not that bad. You know what else wasn't that bad? The Star Wars prequels. Oh, I can smell the hate comments already. Bring it on, haters. Your hatred sustains me. And thoughts on Fairy Tail Zero. Will you watch or read it? First, yes, I have seen it. As for reading the manga it was based on, again, not much of a manga reader, so I might never get to that. Now, as for my overall thoughts on Fairy Tail Zero, I'll actually get into that in a later video. But I will say this right now. I really did enjoy it. In fact, it's become one of my favorite arcs of the franchise, and I'd say is the best arc of the second series. So this concludes my little Q&A. Yeah, hopefully this will be enough to hold you guys over until I can get some more of my regular content back out to you guys, which I'll actually start working on over the next couple of days, either once I've finished editing this and whatnot. So yeah, more content coming out to you guys fairly soon. So until then, guys, this is the Real Black Otaku signing out. See ya.